One day, you decided you wanted more.
Next stop, University Station.
To study, to learn, to chase a passion, or to find one. And at one moment or another, it may have seemed impossible to go on. But you remembered that it only takes one. One cup of coffee. One question. One professor to open your mind. One class that would wake you up. One moment of creative inspiration. One project that would turn into a business venture. One launch. One discovery that would forever change the trajectory of our planet. One breakthrough that would change the lives of millions. And 1 year, a year that would forever change us all. You are the class of 2021. One graduating class amongst a growing community. Alumni who have come before you and are all around the world, ready to support you, to see what you do next and what we can achieve together.
Whatsoever things are true, a promise made here at the University of Alberta over 100 years ago. Today, we join together from our own homes to celebrate this commitment to ourselves and to our community. We celebrate with all of our graduating students. Let these words guide you. May you continue to seek truth. May you continue to serve in our global home. May you continue to uphold the University of Alberta's values of integrity, freedom, and the equality and dignity of all persons, to create a community filled with promise for the future and goodwill toward all. I invite you to join in from your own homes as we celebrate the class of 2021 across this great country and around the world with the singing of O Canada.
O Canada, our home and native land,
true patriot love,
in all of us command, catombrase porte,
il se porte,
la croix, ton histoire est
une épopée
des plus brillants exploits.
conquis par l'air, glorious and free.
O Canada,
We stand on guard.
Welcome to the University of Alberta Spring 2021 Convocation. My name is Peggy Garrity, and I have the privilege of serving as the Chancellor of the University and conferring all of your degrees today. I would like to acknowledge that the University of Alberta is located on Treaty 6 territory and the homelands of the Métis. In stating this, we must recognize our responsibility in working in relationship alongside First Nation and Métis people and their communities on the way forward, and in good relations in uplifting the whole people for the next 7 generations and the university for tomorrow. On behalf of the entire university community, I'm delighted to welcome you to this convocation. Convocation is a time-honored tradition of gathering together the degree holders of a university. But as we all know, gathering together is something we all miss as we've struggled through the impact of the pandemic. You are the first University of Alberta graduating class in more than a century to have spent the final year of your studies during a pandemic, and without the familiar connections with campus, with professors, with colleagues and friends. Simple but significant things we all miss. With the unique challenges each of you has faced, there is even more reason to celebrate what you have achieved, to honor the achievements of the class of 2021, and to wish you every success as you pursue your next hopes and dreams. Over the course of this ceremony, you'll hear from the President of our university, the Chair of our Board of Governors, and 3 distinguished alumni from our university. We're also very honored to hear from Her Honor Ms. Salma Lakhani, Lieutenant Governor of Alberta, and one of this year's outstanding honorary degree recipients. We're delighted to welcome her to the University of Alberta family. Graduates, for all of you, and indeed for all of you who are watching, the centerpiece of our ceremony will be the conferral of your degrees. Our deans will present you, and our president will guide you through our pledge to pursue the encouragement of learning and the public good. It will then be my great honor to admit you to your degrees and to confer upon you all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities that come with being a university graduate. That moment will bind you and the University of Alberta together for all time. When we do the conferral of degrees, I hope that you and all of your friends, family members, and colleagues will shout out your name in celebration and cheer along with the rest of us. The significance of the conferral of your degrees will then be marked by a message from each of your faculty deans. I wish I could read out the names of each and every one of you so that I could recognize your accomplishments individually. Unfortunately, that process would take over 11 hours to complete, which I expect is beyond the endurance of all of us. You will find your name, as well as the names of all those graduating at the end of this virtual ceremony. You can also send messages of congratulations to individual graduates by visiting the Convocation webpage. To everyone joining us, I hope you enjoy the celebration. I'd like to start by inviting President Flanagan to address Convocation.
Thank you, Chancellor Garrity. Class of 2021, congratulations. Universities are always proud of their graduates, and I am incredibly proud of this year's class. When you began your studies at the University of Alberta, no one could have anticipated the turn that your university life would take in the last year. There have been many challenges. You've spent long hours in front of a screen rather than working side by side with classmates and friends. You've missed out on a lot: clubs, athletics, performances, competitions, and international exchanges. On top of the usual demands, you've had to adapt more than adapt to new learning technologies. You've had to adapt your schedules, living arrangements, and plans for next year. But through it all, you have demonstrated remarkable resilience and creativity. You have helped each other and helped all of us at the University of Alberta succeed despite the challenges. You've also shown enormous compassion and care for others, making sacrifices for the well-being of your family and your friends, as well as the community at large. Many of you have also put yourselves on the front lines of the pandemic. Perhaps you did practicums or placements in hospitals, clinics, and schools, or were one of the many who continued to work part-time in essential services and businesses so that we could all have access to food and other necessities. Or as co-op students and interns, you helped companies and community organizations stay afloat in difficult times. I know, too, that many of you have needed to put your plans on hold. That's not easy to do, just at a point when you're ready to get started on what comes next. Thank you for putting the welfare of others ahead of yours. It is my heartfelt wish that your plans will soon take off. Graduation always marks a new beginning, and never more so than today. More and more people are vaccinated every day. Over the summer, we will start to see things open up. We will soon have the chance to renew vital human connections and set our sights on new adventures. And when we can, I urge you to experience life to the full. Enjoy food in restaurants, delve into the arts, travel, take advantage of what your city and what your community has to offer. And as you do, take with you some critical lessons that we've learned from this year. My first lesson: when we work together to solve problems, positive, life-saving, transformational change is possible. And second, skills, knowledge, and ideas matter. Imagine this year without research, without highly trained experts helping governments and individuals to make good decisions, without innovation leading to the quickest discovery and production of vaccines in human history. Your education matters. Take the skills you've learned and your increased capacity to solve problems and imagine alternative solutions, and make this world a better place. My third lesson: everything rests on compassion and concern for others. Cherish and nurture your relationships and communities, and find in them strength and connection. Once this public health emergency ends, we will continue to face serious and significant local and global challenges. We will need the strengths of our communities to solve them. We will need to renew our economy and bring down high levels of unemployment. The global community must address climate change and deep polarization. Each of us must play our part in ending systemic racism and discrimination. U of A graduates have faced difficult situations in the past. I think of the period following the Spanish flu and World War I, in which this community suffered great losses. I also think of my parents who came to the University of Alberta in the years following World War II, my father as a veteran. They both became teachers and were part of a generation that built a world-class K-12 public school system throughout Alberta. U of A's alumni community now numbers more than 300,000. Together, this community provides tremendous leadership in every sector and every corner of society. Today, you become part of that community, and we depend on you to add your talents, skills, and voices to lead the renewal so urgently needed today. This is indeed a time of challenge, but is also an exciting time for Alberta and for Canada. We are in the midst of major transitions. Imagine our province and our country 10 or 20 years from now, and consider the opportunities that lie ahead to start new industries and businesses, renew public services, expand the creative arts, explore new areas of research, and lead social, cultural, and economic change. Each of you has a role in that future, an even more diverse Alberta, an ever-changing Alberta, a forward-looking and optimistic Alberta, and a diverse social and economic fabric. Your graduation marks a new beginning for all of us. Be bold and be brave. Seize your chance. Now, more than ever, our society needs you to take the lead. Congratulations and best wishes.
Knowledge shall not be the concern of scholars alone. The uplifting of the whole people shall be its final goal.
They inspire us all with their brilliance, creative force, and fervent desire to make the world a better place.
I accept in the name of our poor people.
Dream your dreams. It is possible to have a new kind of world.
Those who receive an honorary degree from the University of Alberta set the highest standards of dedication and excellence for students and for society at large.
It is a good day to be you.
Remember who you are. Remember where you come from.
And while their backgrounds and fields of endeavor vary widely, all are exceptional.
Maybe it's best if I just speak from the heart.
I will remember you. Will you remember me?
We face today a clash of ignorances.
You are who make the history. You are who create the future.
U of A honorary degree recipients embody the university's vision to inspire the human spirit through outstanding achievements in learning, discovery, and citizenship in a creative community.
Your generation will be called upon to balance what is now moving quickly to a tipping point.
I think we are now in the threshold of a new beginning.
It is a spirit that is building one of the world's great universities for the public good.
It is your attitude that will sustain you. It is not what happens to you, it is what you do with it.
Go out and not simply change the world, go out and save the world. That is what I would seek you to do.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the Senate of the University of Alberta, it is my great privilege to introduce the Honourable Salma Lakhani for the honorary degree of Doctor of Laws, our institution's highest honour. Her honour was installed as Alberta's 19th Lieutenant Governor on August 26, 2020, the first person of Muslim faith and the first person of South Asian descent to be appointed to this position. Her long-standing service as a community leader and volunteer has been guided by her deep commitment to the values of pluralism and inclusion. She is dedicated to championing those who face barriers in life. After the government of her home country in Uganda expelled all people of Asian descent in 1972, it was her family's focus on education and her post-secondary studies in Britain that gave her a future. Salma graduated with an honors degree in clinical biochemistry from the University of Leeds. In 1977, Salma and her husband came to Edmonton to begin a new life in Canada. After arriving in Edmonton, Salma supported her husband's medical practice while also operating a business focused on early childhood education and applying her affinity for teaching. Her honor became one of the first mentors in Northwest College's Youth in Transition program, providing guidance for students learning English as a second language. She also shared her skills, energy, and passion for service with the Lois Hole Hospital for Women, Kids Cottage, Sorrentino's Compassion House, the Alberta Cancer Board, the Zebra Foundation, the Aga Khan Foundation of Canada, and the John Humphrey Centre for Peace and Human Rights. Salma is a longtime Edmontonian who has made a remarkable difference in our community. She has received the Alberta Centennial and Queen's Diamond Jubilee Medal in recognition of her service to the community and civil society, and was inducted as a member and chancellor of the Alberta Order of Excellence upon her appointment as Lieutenant Governor of Alberta. Today, we honor her compassion, her empathy, and her ability to connect with others. We recognize her leadership in helping immigrant women gain more access to further their education. And we celebrate her tireless commitment to serving the community and her belief that success in life is a result of collective efforts. Eminent Chancellor, with great pride and respect, I present the Honourable Salma Lakhani.
Eminent Chancellor, President Flanagan, Board of Governors Chair Chisholm and members, faculty, distinguished guests, proud family members, and especially you, the graduating class of 2021. I want to express my deepest gratitude to the University of Alberta for bestowing on me this recognition, and my heartfelt thanks to my nominator and those who offered their support. Thank you. Few of us can fully appreciate the significant challenges you, the class of 2021, have experienced over the past year. Our current context has contributed to a heightened awareness about the ever-changing world we live in as we face the headwinds of the future. To that end, I thought I might take a few minutes today to tell you a story. Over 4 decades ago, I graduated from the University of Manchester in England. But although I had my degree in hand, the future I had long since imagined for myself of returning to my home country of Uganda was shattered. Partway through my university education, my entire family, along with thousands of others of South Asian descent, were expelled from Uganda. With no place to call home, I was forced to imagine a different life, a life that eventually brought me and my husband here to Canada, a place that as children we only knew as a faraway country on the map. But in the midst of the countless unknowns we faced, I do know that the education we received at the Aga Khan schools in Uganda and my university education in England was an absolute lifeline in facilitating everything that has happened since. Today, You are all being awarded degrees of higher learning by one of North America's finest education institutions, and you can be sure that whatever you choose to do as your lives unfold, the formal education and qualifications you have worked so hard for are precious gifts that will always remain with you. As someone whose own life journey has contained many unexpected twists and turns, I want to share with you some of the lessons I have learned along the way. 1. The exercise of education and thoughtful engagement does not end with your degree. I left my alma mater with a degree in clinical biochemistry, but it was the fundamental practice of viewing learning as a lifelong pursuit that allowed me to explore alternate avenues. Simply put, your education is not and cannot be solely reflected in the degrees you have earned, but in the intellectual curiosity, thoughtfulness, and determined work ethic you have fostered. Wherever life takes you, you will forever be supported by the sum of the skills that your university education has given you and by your willingness to keep learning, engaging, and growing. 2. As you journey down your paths, I also want you to remember that there is not only strength, but great resilience in authenticity. Too often, there is a tendency to shroud or minimize aspects of ourselves to better fit within a so-called mainstream. But the fact is that we are all composites of so many different identities, be it race, religion, culture, gender identity, or even the academic paths you have chosen. These identities give each of us a wealth of perspectives that allow us to make unique and meaningful contributions to the world around us. I happen to be a Muslim by faith, a South Asian by descent, and an African by birth, born and raised in Uganda, which was our family home for 3 generations. Each of these aspects of my identity is unique to me and is added to the richness of my life. So rather than editing yourselves in favor of who you think you are expected to be, lean into all of the different aspects of who you are, and the world will be made better for having you live as your authentic selves. 3. Another vital lesson that I have carried with me from a young age is the African concept of Ubuntu, which simply translated means, I am because we are. It speaks to the ties that bind us as a community and reminds us that our lives and livelihoods are inextricably linked, and never has that been more evident than right now. Whatever you pursue in your lives, I hope you will always keep in mind that we are all part of a global family, forever bound through our trials and our triumphs, our setbacks and our successes. I hope that in charting your next steps, you will be thinking not only of how to meet your own needs, but also how to best serve and uphold those around you with the skills you have acquired. Today, I stand before you as a proud Canadian and as Alberta's 19th Lieutenant Governor, addressing graduates of this world-class university that offered us the opportunity to come to Alberta in 1977 in my husband's pursuit of postgraduate training in medicine. I speak for my family when I say that this institution has always held a special place in our hearts. As someone who came to this country as a stateless ex-Ugandan, to be receiving the U of A's highest honor alongside all the amazing past recipients, and at this convocation, 3 extraordinary fellow Canadians, Ruth Collins Nakai, Cheryl Whiskey Jack, and Reza Nazri, is truly humbling. It is an honor that I never imagined would be part of my own life story. As you strike out to carve bright futures for yourselves, I am reminded of myself, a young graduate in Manchester over 4 decades ago, who could never have imagined how her life would unfold through those uncertain times. To the class of 2021, some final thoughts. Treasure the gift of your education. It is priceless. Live authentically. Never forget that we are all part of a global family. Always remember the kindnesses shown to you and give of yourselves with an open heart. In so doing, you will find that your own horizons open in new and unexpected ways, full of hope and possibility. Congratulations to each one of our graduates and your very proud families. May your futures always be blessed with much success. Thank you.
Eminent Chancellor and President, on behalf of the Faculty of Law,
the Faculty of Graduate Studies and Research,
the Faculty of Arts,
Augustana Faculty,
the Faculty of Education,
the Alberta School of Business,
Faculté Saint-Jean et Centre collégial de l'Alberta,
the Faculty of Native Studies.
We present to you these scholars and ask that they be pledged and admitted to the degrees to which they are entitled.
Do you promise faithfully to observe and loyally to maintain the statutes, customs, privileges, and liberties of this, your university? Do you solemnly promise to conduct yourself in all things loyally and faithfully to the honor of this, your university, the encouragement of learning, and the good of your country? Please confirm the pledge with me.
These things I pledge myself to do.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the legislature of this province, and with the consent of this university, I admit you to the degrees to which you are entitled and invest you with all the powers, rights, and privileges pertaining to such degrees. I charge you to use them for the uplifting of the whole people, to inspire the human spirit, to serve your community for the public good, and to pursue more steadfastly whatsoever things are true.
This has been a uniquely challenging year, but you are positioned to go forward with confidence that your education has prepared you for meaningful career opportunities and equipped you to be thoughtful and engaged citizens. I wish you all the best in this exciting next stage of your life. Congratulations.
As you set out on the path to the next stage of your lives, may the journey be a long one, full of adventures, full of discoveries, full of successes and personal and professional satisfaction. I am confident that Augustana has given you the right education and all the tools that you need, and I'm confident that you will become builders and leaders and contributors to the communities in which you find yourselves. Remember Augustana always, and Augustana will also remember you, and we will try to connect with you as soon as we can.
Congratulations, graduates of the Alberta School of Business. You've worked hard, you've been committed, you've shown perseverance, flexibility, and that innovative spirit. You're ready to become leaders from Alberta for the world. Congratulations.
I'm here to extend my warmest, most heartfelt congratulations to all of our graduates from the faculty, our undergraduate teacher education program, and our graduate students across our 5 departments. I want to wish you all the very best in your future endeavors. And I know that this year has been a year like no other, but it has positioned you with the skills, the resiliency, the flexibility, and the knowledge that you will need to go out into the world and make a difference in whatever space or context you find yourself.
Bonjour et toutes mes félicitations aux nouveaux diplômés de la Faculté Saint-Jean et du Centre collégial de l'Alberta. Au nom du corps enseignant et du personnel du campus Saint-Jean, je vous souhaite une bonne continuation, que ce soit dans vos études ou dans la profession que vous aurez choisie. Vous avoir compté parmi nous pendant vos études a été un privilège et j'espère que vous resterez en contact avec le campus Saint-Jean par l'entremise de l'Amicale Saint-Jean, l'association des alums de Saint-Jean.
Congratulations to the graduating class of the Faculty of Law 2021. At the very best of times, getting a law degree is a challenging program, and you've made it through in difficult and unusual circumstances. Today is your day. I hope that you are proud of yourselves because your faculty is most certainly proud of you.
Tansei Kiwao. I just want to give my hearty congratulations to all of you who have made it through a rough and tough year and are managing to cross the stage this year. It's a virtual convocation, which is not the convocation that any of us probably wanted, but it's where we're at, and huge hugs and congratulations to all of you. You've done it, and now it's time for you to move on.
Hello, everyone. I'm pleased to congratulate the recipients of graduate degrees and certificates at this year's Spring 2021 Convocation. I hope you take some time to celebrate today. You certainly deserve it, because completing a graduate degree is no small achievement. You've devoted countless hours to research, to writing, and to creative activity. There may have been times when you wondered if you'd get here, but you have, and we couldn't be more proud of you for having done so. Congratulations and best wishes for your future. We can't wait to see how you're going to change the world.
On behalf of the Faculty of Arts, I congratulate our graduates.
Bravo et félicitations.
Congratulations, Alberta School of Business, class of 2021.
Again, my most heartfelt congratulations to each and every one of you.
Congratulations, class of 2021.
Congratulations, class of the year 2021.
Congratulations to the class of 2021. You did it!
Hello, my name is Tyler Hansen, and I am president of the Alumni Association. It is now my privilege to introduce our class of 2021 alumni speaker for the faculties of Arts, Augustana, Business, Education, Law, Native Studies, and Faculté Saint-Jean. Ms. Nisha Patel is a University of Alberta alumna who received a Bachelor of Commerce degree and a leadership certificate in 2015. Nisha began writing poetry at the age of 23 and just released her debut poetry collection, Coconut. She is the City of Edmonton's Poet Laureate and co-hosts 70% Coverage, a podcast illustrating the challenges people with disabilities and chronic health conditions face. Nisha is a Canadian individual poetry slam champion and mentor, teacher, and master's candidate, presently pursuing her goals of telling truthful stories.
I walked a stage once in a body that had spent most of its undergraduate years with a neck heavy bent over textbooks and assignments I always finished overnight, begging for extensions, trying to get everything right. I was too stubborn to fail mathematics, and bad enough at mathematics to nearly fail accounting, I was good at politics in the basement of humanities. I cried in cab, even as I berated myself in profanities. I spoke once at a disinterested substage during lunch, believing student government could heal me. I visited doctors upstairs who had diagnosed colds and head injuries. I worked with counseling to find a way just to be me. Because some nights I felt so alone and far from reality that only a janitor's gentle concern brought me back. I lived an entire second life on campus, in study rooms and lecture halls, as a student wondering who I am. And maybe you've been there too, faced doubt and fear and still do today, living through a crisis and still being asked to give everything you have to a system that grows harder to play. Tuition goes up and class sizes increase. Your favorite professor moves away. Everything but the 9 a.m. labs fill up. You make it through midterms just to have one good day. And the world comes to a standstill as your loved ones fall ill and are left to die. And still you turn on your cameras for what? To gather these last memories like a blue-tipped magpie. As your alumni, we mean it when we say that we've been there, but dear God, we haven't. What the class of 2021 is doing is beyond remarkable. You deserve more than the celebration can warrant. And we see how hard you've worked, not as an observation, but a statement of fact. You were asked to not just be strong, but resilient. You were asked to envision a new reality, even as our current one cracked. You worked so hard to protect yourself from failure that your spirit often paid the price. You learned that hope was a fledgling bird, held in a clenched fist, made tight. I cannot offer you answers or prayers in the face of traumas that take nameless, unspeakable shapes, the shadows in the broad daylight that loosen off the backs of friends, and the real friends we know we can't escape. And who knows what comes next. You are complicated, contradictory beings, people whose destinies are unfolding and complex. And so take my sorrow and my grief that you have had to rise to this occasion too. We know that education is not a right in this country, and through it all, you still made it through. I left university afraid of my future, convinced that success was the only metric that mattered. It was easy to forget the times of jubilance that I had here, to let my memories grow tired and scattered. But there was joy, I know it, there was pride. In the paper done by the bell, there was song. In the halls of Dinwoodie, and the scent of humidity in the egg forest stairwell. There was the maze of bio-size basement, and the rocks held in a museum I never visited. There was the faculty club I was too cheap to drink at, and the glacial services of any campus bar as a prerequisite. And there were the lessons I only learned years after I left campus behind, that despite how much my brain told me it hated me, it still brought community and chosen family to my side. What can I tell you of success? What can I say of what we owe to each other, if not our very best effort at surviving everything that we've gone through together? Rest is not a reward for work, but a necessity. So today, I hope you rest. Your bodies have changed and held you, oh brave ones. We are so impressed. I walked a stage once many years ago, thinking that this moment was an end. The secret is that I could not have been less or better prepared for the journey that I would then begin.
Graduates of the class of 2021, I'm very pleased to participate today on behalf of the Board of Governors to bring the Board's greetings and heartiest congratulations to you. Today we celebrate you and your very significant achievements. The fact that we are doing this virtually today does not mean that your families, and by this I include mine this year, along with the entire university community, are not extremely proud of you, the graduating class of 2021. Indeed, the fact that you've made this great accomplishment during such challenging times speaks very well of your personal grit and strength. It's also a day to celebrate the university, which by virtue of this marvelous milestone has successfully provided you with the academic resources to support your engagement with issues and opportunities of 2021 and beyond. Collectively and cooperatively, you will be the generation that moves society forward in the arts, in the economy, in knowledge, discovery, and research. You've been changed, transformed even, over your years at the University of Alberta. You will address society's issues, influence others, and help people with the experience you've gained at the U of A. You're now the kind of citizen who will apply critical thought, share your knowledge, foster common understanding, and employ the skills you've gained here to better society in a competent, thoughtful, ethical, and engaged way today and from now on. Be proud. Savor your success. Enjoy today, and we wish you the very best in your future endeavors. Our very heartfelt congratulations to you, your families, friends, and supporters. While we do wish it had been possible to celebrate this joyful occasion in person, I'm pleased to be able to share a few messages of congratulations to you from your fellow students.
Congratulations to the graduating class of 2021. We did it.
Congratulations, class of 2021.
I'm so excited to be sharing this virtual stage with you.
We managed to graduate during a pandemic.
Congratulations and best wishes to the class of 2021.
I am grateful for the support of Augustana faculty and staff, fellow student peers, and Camrose community members, who have each been uniquely influential in cultivating excitement for learning and facilitating academic and personal growth.
From participating in undergraduate research, to studying abroad, to doing an internship with the Faculty of Arts for a year, I'm so grateful for all of the people and the programs that have made these experiences possible.
The incredible network of peers, colleagues, and friends that I take with me as I entered the legal profession.
The amazing staff at the Faculty of Native Studies and the amazing staff at First People's House. Both of them gave me a tremendous amount of support throughout my undergrad.
I would say I'm most grateful for all the relationships I've made and experiences I've had while living in res, playing in intramural sports.
I'm so grateful for my family and for my friends, and especially my First Nation, because without them I wouldn't have been able to attend this university and learn all that I have.
Now I have future colleagues who feel more like friends, friends who feel more like family, and professors who feel more like lifelong mentors.
With my chemistry degree, I hope to go on and complete my PhD in chemistry, and after that pursue a career in a biotech or a biopharma company.
I plan to use my business degree to promote, support, and enhance the Alberta startup community. I want to be an entrepreneur someday, and I feel that I can do so with the tools that I learned in my degree.
With my degrees, after many years of teaching, I hope to become the next education director for my nation.
Though I'm not entirely sure what I'd like to do with my degree, I hope to use my skills to affect positive change in my community, whether that's advocating for immigrants like my parents or helping out with social justice causes. I hope I'm able to create a better tomorrow.
I hope to help those who have to interact with the law find and navigate their way through our Canadian justice system.
With my U Alberta degree, I want to bring change within our community through technology.
I'm graduating today with a Bachelor of Arts in Political Science, a minor in Sociology. I know that my degree here at the University of Alberta was just a microcosm of what the world has to offer, and I'm looking forward to seeing how our political bodies can continue to shape and build societies where people are loved and welcomed and accepted.
We made it to the finish line of a very difficult year. Best wishes as we embrace this next phase of uncertainty, adventure, and new beginnings.
Félicitations and congratulations.
Here's to the next chapter and all of the exciting new adventures that it will bring.
I am so humbled and privileged to have known you as classmates and friends, and I'm so excited to see what the future holds for you.
We kept pushing forward. Now look at us, we're alumni.
We still have so much to be proud of. Congratulations, class of 2021. We made it.
In closing, I would like to offer a few words of thanks. To the Honorable Sam Lakhani, thank you for sharing your story, your wisdom with our university family. You are an inspiring example of leadership, service, and accomplishment. I'd also like to congratulate Drs. Cheryl Whiskey-Jack, Reza Nasseri, and Ruth Collins-Nakai, who also received honorary degrees in May and shared their inspiring messages with us this past week. To Nisha Patel, Adrian Cho, and Stephanie Liu, our alumni speakers for each of the ceremonies, thank you for sharing your stories and your wisdom with our university family. On a personal note, this ceremony marks my second convocation in my role as Chancellor, both of which have been virtual. To all of our students, faculty, staff, administrators, and alumni, and to the members of our University Senate, thank you for affording me the privilege of serving this university. To the staff of the Office of the Registrar, thank you for the organization of today's convocation. Finally, to each of our graduates, congratulations for all you have achieved leading up to the conferral of your degree. Your parchment certifying the conferral of your degree today is being prepared for mailing as we hold this ceremony. Please watch for it in the mail in the next few weeks. The past year has been incredibly challenging for so many, and I want to acknowledge your determination and perseverance that helped you get to this day. While it may be cliché to say we're all in this together, this past year has taught us how much that simple message rings true. Your convocation today symbolizes what we can achieve together, how we can uplift the whole people when we unleash the creativity, energy, ideas, and compassion of the students who are graduating today and will lead the way for tomorrow. I hope you feel incredibly proud of what you have accomplished in your years at our university. You have spent hours, months, and years listening and learning, digging into complex issues and topics, thinking critically about some of the most pressing issues of our time, sharing time with friends and colleagues, and preparing for wherever your journey will take you. In turn, we are incredibly proud of you, our newest graduates. You bring us hope for the future. You inspire us with your energy, your enthusiasm, and ideas. Whatever path you choose, I encourage you above all else to understand you can make a positive difference in our world. And I can assure you that the University of Alberta will be here cheering you on from the sidelines as each of you pursues your next hopes and dreams. Our closing song, Je te retrouve, was written, conducted, and performed by Chorale Saint-Jean. I hope it will evoke warm memories for each of you of your time here at the U of A. Thank you for joining us today.